welcome. Saturday 17th, and I'm your host, Ira Bush. This is Dynasty, the podcast show. Um, I just want to say thank y'all to everybody who, is listening and tuning in and is consistent. Hold on, let me get my background. Forgot. I ain't trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to, make sure y'all see who really speaking and talking out here. But yeah, like I was saying, thank y'all for listening and tuning in. We got a great show. A lot of stuff is going on. Let y'all hear some things. I'm gonna let y'all, give y'all some real information that's going on. We got a lot going on in the world, whether it's, you want to be on the serious side of things, whether you want to be on the, fun side of things and enjoying your life side of things and family side of things. Got a lot going on. It's a big week, like I was saying. A lot of special people in my life. They transitioned to another full year. They went, whole year of, birth. And, we celebrating all week. At the end of the day, it's celebration. So, shout out to my child, one of my favorite relatives. Their birthday this week. We celebrating. It's they all, both of them are some of the funniest people to me. They always have me smiling and laughing. So, shout out to them. Other than that, we're gonna continue. It's the point I always start off with just explaining to y'all that I'm in a stage where I'm not super serious. This is the platform where I speak, but more so, I'm happy I'm finna get back on. I'm finna do something this summer as far as coaching basketball, football, all season training, whatever it may be, little league, high school, whichever one I decide to pick. I know I got opportunity at both. So I'm just excited. I'm gonna be able to be vocal more in the community. I've been going to I'm gonna be more, like I said, I'm gonna be at the school board meetings. I'm gonna be at the council meetings in the community. Y'all gonna see me everywhere. Y'all gonna know it's me talking and speaking and influencing, and I'm gonna do it at a bigger rate than I was when I was younger. So it's like I said, all roadblocks have been kicked over for the majority of the part. Any roadblock that's going to be happening now, I'm gonna be aware of. I'm already being tuned and complete. To just to be petty, like sometimes I like to show y'all some pettiness. Like I ended up, I know I'm gonna talk about the baseball game, far as breaking it down what I seen, but I went to the Marlins game last night. Well, it was really the Rays versus the Marlins. I'm originally from St. Pete, the Tampa Bay area. That's coast. So I was going to, cheer from my home area team, far as major leagues. I don't have no quarrels. I'll cheer for the Marlins if they win in the championship. And if I'm in this area, I go to the game. I went to a game or two already. So, and they have a very nice facility, one of the best stadiums. So I enjoyed my time. It was cool, chilled. I ended up getting a fountain drink for $3. I was surprised that it was that cheap. And so hey, ain't got nothing against the Marlins. And they got a nice little, a la carte stand. When you go in and you come out, the food not that expensive. You get some for under $10. Chips, hot dogs. You could right before you go in. So I ain't mad at how it's set up. Walgreens next door to it. You could eat before you go in. They used to have a Wendy's around the corner, so the Subway there. It's all everything's pretty solid over there with the Marlins. I have no, it's all support when it comes to being a Floridian. And I enjoyed the game. Unfortunately, the Rays lost, but we'll talk about that more later. Now, mind you, this is fast forward after the game. I'm walking. I'm just giving y'all some insight on how corrupt and disruptive, just people not doing their job properly as patrolmen or police officers or You know, I've been talking about this the last 3 weeks, and I'm walking out. Most people not really understanding how high level I really am, and they might do know, but it's like it was basically like a whole little patrolman lineup, got their lights on, just sitting around, not doing their job at all, not doing not being really like assertive as patrolmen. Like, why y'all sitting here having a whole little basically there's people who I was gonna tell the story. I'm gonna just tell the story like this. When I was a young coach, we get coaches stipends, and the coach, he really wasn't on the staff with me full time. He only worked with me 1 year, but I paid. He allowed me to get a vehicle that he didn't use anymore, that was in his name. And as a young coach, I didn't mind. I paid him, but I didn't end up getting the car registered in my name. It was just basically I paid for a car, and it was basically he just gave me the car, and I paid him money for it. I didn't get it registered or anything like that. So I don't really have ties to nothing that he ever gave me. So it was just like a loaner at most. And this person, I don't like to put people, this person already had been deemed a white supremacist, Ku Klux Klan member by the whole community in South in Palm Beach, down in Boca, as a coach. So I don't have to bring his name up. I'm just gonna tell the story how it goes. I already had got the information before he even was part of our staff, but he got a second chance. He really shouldn't have even got the position that he got, but the people I was under, they're very caring and forgiving people. They don't have time to be small-minded and petty. So they gave him another chance. This guy's he's not in the state no more. He's in Georgia, still being a white supremacist, fake Christian, person, fake child of God, whatever he think. Whatever white Jesus he's worshiping is not a real God. It's internal. It's not a person. It's an energy. This guy has been basically, as me getting older and me getting more wiser, this guy is basically an energy thief. Very disrespectful in the spiritual realm. His father is also a known pedophile, a known white supremacist as well in the area. He's still living in Palm Beach. Supposedly he need to be put to sleep like an animal, and all that bad energy he put towards my family, he didn't need to be associated with me at all. And I have honor and morals in my family. So this guy, whatever he doing, him and his tribe, his Ku Klux Klan tribe, need to find something to do. You need to move to a whole different side of the world with you and your weirdo family and group. I don't have time to be associated with that, so I'm just putting that out in the air and the atmosphere. I've already been said, like, the crooked police officers and all these people associated with, or people in the church who want to follow this guy. You got to go check him and his people that he's associated with. Don't come over here because of the color of my skin. Because when you start reading in my database, it's strength, it's power, it's nothing weak over here, and we don't have time. Females love my family. Like, I have a lot of females in my family. We don't have to do anything to exert authority over these people. These people love us because who we are. These people love us because how we look and how we speak and how we go about life. We don't need to have no kind of hate group to support us to be powerful. One of me is one. It's going to, for you to even defeat me, you need thousands of people to even come close to even. I'm not even at the peak of my greatness. So how I look at it, how I see it, and then when you really go down the tunnel, like, you're gonna have to go fight giants, and this is in the realm now. And I'm just letting you know, like, you're not gonna win this battle. Like, I have people that are the females in my family are on track to be so high powered and high successful in this reality, in this setting, in this white supremacist of America. They're on track to be at the top. They're not on the track to be here. And like me, and the way my mom is, she's more of, the border between just like, and like me, her kids were basically put in front line to make sure everybody be successful, and it's working out. But like I say, unfortunately, these people, I calculate everything. Like I said, somebody really close to me, I don't care how you say, what he chose as his career path, and he's still pretty high ranking in his career path and what he did to choose. And I know stuff might be said, like, I don't really talk about my mom's side as far as the men, because I actually have to protect them in a different way. And on my dad's side, it's a lot of men on that side, so I could speak openly because they already spoken openly, but by what they chose to do. So, but on the grand scheme of other side, it's not a lot of men, but we are hardly protected. If that makes sense to you, we make a, if it happened, it happened. So both sides pretty straight, pretty solid. Like I gave y'all a quick rundown. Like long story short, I had to make that be known because it's every day it becomes more and more blatant and disrespectful that these people could hide behind other people and then do this and do that, and then they ain't gonna work out. I'm just gonna go right at the top and chop your little dome top because you already started some 8-9 years ago. So I already the little trickling down effect, the effect that start right there, squish you like a little bug that you are, and you gotta figure out how to do something else. They do this little good cop Christian guy, blah blah blah. You the problem, and the fake evil people, they just doing what they know evil. They already done. They already it ain't nothing. So all that little group is gone. We getting rid of it, this coming from the Florida people. Me being a Floridian, I'm telling you that it's over with, and it don't matter where I'm gonna come, because the way I'm finna do the politicals, for me, this is the beginning stage of it. They actually made me, let's say, put it like this. I'm gonna give you a quick breakdown of why. Like I was trained in high school, and I was trained at home about political, just terminology, just political world, just the way it wasn't heavily instilled in me to go at it. It was just I was known with the basics was taught to me. And when I joined the debate team, when I got to South Florida, this is how you beat people at their own. Like the same people that was already hating, that was in a big hate group where I ended up going to school at. They basically polished my skills on political, and I was on the debate team. And I ended up being like, out the gate, I was already one of the better students in that class, and I only did it for 1.5 years. I didn't even finish. Like when I got there 10th grade for half a year, and I basically did a solid year because I did one semester when I got there. Then the second semester, 11th grade, I started back playing football, and I really just like, all right, I just play sports because I got to make sure I'm on point with certain stuff. I didn't understand what was going on, but I had to get back on the field just to maintain my stamina of being a man, like being a real, of being a real man. So it wasn't like that. And I started working as well at the end of that school year and all. So it wasn't worth like, and then I ended up making the decision to, me being undersized, me not being put in a position that I was just going to coach at the end. By the end of, once I got the 12th grade, I was already, I love sports. So any sport, I would have been okay at coaching. So, that was my decision already. But I do love the discipline and team camaraderie of being on a team. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, if y'all watching, y'all get the rewind. Y'all understand why I was just breaking down some stuff about these hate groups and these, fake well-wishing group, these, thinking that they better than you, and they making up lies for, they don't need to be associated. They don't even need to mention you. When you can't associate with me, and you definitely can't associate with my grandfather. That's the main thing. Your dad and your dad hate group cannot be. It's like this. It's like he way up here and they way down here in the under the trash, under the bottomless pit. That's where they need to stay. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what I'm letting people know. Like I ain't really going. I ain't really got time to be associated with you if you on some. Cause what his merit is not nowhere near where your merit gonna be. And if you want to stay afloat, you better leave me alone. Cause I'm young, and I'm vibrant, and I got a child, and this only gonna get bigger and greater. And I got females in this family that's gonna be bigger and greater in this. And I'm speaking life and greatness and powerful right over your dome. You get what I'm trying to say? So let's find something to do. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. Now let's get back to the main subject of today. I told you what happened, and like I said, the crooked police figured it out. I didn't say anything, but they basically said this person name, saying who they standing by. And like I'm like, I pay every tax. Every year I pay taxes. My sister the same thing. Every year they don't pay taxes. We don't raise our kids. They are excelling at school. What get y'all the rate to go against us off of skin color? That's what y'all saying? That's I don't know if that's what you mean. Like we ain't out here terrorizing the world. Go find them people. Don't be trying to support these weirdos and pedophiles and so and so's, and just because they not the original. They not the beginning of the world. Like they not. They are stole, connived. They done lied, all kind of things to get to these positions as patrolmen, as officers, police. And I took look. I ain't even petty. I don't really. The way they do me on these hacking my phones, I just took the picture of they license plate and kept it moving. And then they car number. Then this is in days. So I'm like, I ain't even stunned y'all really over here. I know some people over here, probably don't even like y'all that work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, shout out to them. And I feel very protected going to Dade County, and I ain't got no, like I said, I done been in the Miami Dolphins locker room and shook all these people in that work there. I ain't even more to you. I got showed plenty of love in Miami. I walked to the Heat stadium yesterday, took a picture of Dwayne Wade statue. That was my first time seeing it in person. I had a great time last night. I watched the game. I was supporting my home team. Hey, whatever it may be, whatever it may not, you know what I'm saying? That's how I go. I didn't feel no way. So, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna spew on that. I ain't say nobody's name. So if you get the picture, you understand. You know what I'm talking about. You ain't gotta, and I spared some of the even more evil people. I'm just giving you, help your family, buddy. Don't worry about mine. Don't worry about how you could connive and corrupt and come over here and disrupt what I got going on, because your dad a weirdo. Figure that out first. Handle him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's following you, handle your internal. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with me. That's all I'm just telling you. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't really paying attention. Like these people had a big problem with me. Like I'm a young coach when I'm meeting these people. I was not mature enough to comprehend them actually really attacking me to get like my whole family basically. And it ain't really not. It's really like on some protection stuff. Like nobody got time to really I don't really have nothing to hide from. We trust and believe everybody that did something wrong got the max in my family. And I mean that. Every last one of them. They got the max. So, and it only been a few of them that done went and did time in my generation. So, and they had, and this was off of respect. This was off of people like these people high and never getting in trouble for the worst stuff they done did. So, this is just like I'm trying to tell you, like they done set up so many roads. Look, where I stood at, they wasn't gonna never. I ain't gonna say never. God knows that it's always a smarter young man on their side that could come in and do their thing and come and infiltrate. I know I had friends that don't know what their pride is. I'll speak the truth to them since I'll speak everybody I considered a friend when I was younger. I ain't never lied to them. I'm telling you, I might leave information and wait to give it to them, but ain't no lying. I ain't gonna put you in no real danger. So, and if I do feel that way, I'll let you know. Like I'm on the front line before I ain't gonna never set up my friends to get to no level. The level I'm already. You standing with me, I'm already at high level. What is that? Like you standing around me. So I look at it like that. So I'm very like if you ever meet me, I'm not like a oh, it's me. Oh, I'm like, let's have some, like, let's make some fun into this situation. Like, I want everybody to be around so we can come up with a fun plan. I'm lit. Like, it's lit in real time. I don't care if we out here, drinking in Arizona and walking to the beach. Like, I'm lit. That's what it is. Like, so, and we laughing at the same time. It's life. It's, talk about something funny. Make anything could be fun. Like, life is what you make. I be by the beach so much, and on both coasts. Like, I be on the beach all the time when I'm at home. When I'm in South Florida, which is basically a second home to me now, and it's in Florida. So, I got a real strong core in the middle of Florida though. But I don't really want to sit around. I like playing. The older you get, you gotta start coaching and helping you, which is what I might have to go back and do. And then I'm really gonna, me not being by the beach and being able to enjoy myself anytime I feel like it. It's like, hey, y'all gonna make me be even more political. I'm gonna be around there wearing suits if I gotta go back to the go back to the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Every day I'm gonna be getting up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be at the they gonna look at me like I'm going against just living your life and worry about your family and kids and children. So I'm trying not to go that route, but the more and more of these people that are jealous and these hate groups that want to spend money on people to go around and slander and hate because they don't want they real roots to be shown, which is not that great, which is evil, which is we talked about it. But yeah, let's move on. Let's get right to the political. So, like I said, man, the person that is in position of the highest ranked position in the United States is going through a lot. We spoke on it last show about the Saudi Arabia deals. Like I said, I haven't even got into like the details of it. They just, that wasn't a straw man story because it was a 1 day story and they moved on. So it's a lot going to happen with that. A lot of people in America are very disappointed and just thinking that he's made these deals. But when I mentioned all these countries he sat with previously, these countries, I don't think they too happy about this. I don't think they nearly as happy about what's going on. So, I want to talk about sports a lot. WNBA. I'm gonna speak on that because, well, right now the Las Vegas and Liberty are playing. This is a big game. I'm kind of like jumping into quick sports so y'all don't miss this game. Asia Wilson versus Jacqueline Jones is a key matchup. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get right back to what I was going to say because it's very powerful what I was going to say. But yeah, I'm just gonna inform y'all if y'all don't want to, y'all not even listening. This is a live one, but you can go on. If you actually hearing what I'm saying, go check them girls out, females, grown women at the highest level. You got Asia Wilson versus Jacqueline Jones. This is a rematch of the conference finals game before New York ended up winning it all. Chelsea Gray versus Sabrina. I cannot pronounce her name. These girls are all stars. These are going to key matchup. These are like playoff contenders, at the end every year. So, I ain't got Breanna Stewart, one of the most elite and most proficient offensive players to ever step on the court in women's basketball. She got every tool in the bag. It's going to be very entertaining. So, I haven't been able to watch a game. Hopefully, I get to go watch the end of it and then watch the Chicago game as well as the NBA playoff game at the same time. I'm big on Chicago team. I like the females there. They all beautiful. They all real hoopers. Tree, they all super young. I like that they're all young. That like they literally might look. They're younger than me and like my age, so I'm with them. So Chicago, shout out to that team. I'm really I'm like that team a lot. I just want them intrigued by what they do with their youth. Same with the Indiana team. It's like some young stars on that team, and we're gonna talk about that. So let's get back right to it. But just go check out that New York Liberty game versus Las Vegas Aces. Go check it out. It's on right now. Started at 1:00. Sorry, I didn't get that information out. But sports I usually keep down last. So, but let's get back to it. Like I was saying, I'm gonna play y'all some clips for Representative Al Green on his May 15 when he filed the impeachment articles. And also on May 13th, the Congressional Black Caucus Special Order Hour. I'm gonna play some clips and we go discuss on what is happening, and we're gonna really like, and also, like I said, I've been going to all these, I went to the school board meeting on, I think it was Friday, and I didn't get to watch a virtual meeting or go to get back to Broward early. It's a lot going on. Like I said, I'm trying to organize my schedule to be on point and to be consistent and to be very detailed when I'm speaking about these things and not let y'all. But I am gonna make a real effort because I'll be procrastinating when I like to try to catch them at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like I'm trying to catch the mayor's office and the mayors of Broward because they didn't answer their phone last week. I'm gonna call Palm Beach County. I'm calling Pinellas County. I'm calling Dade County, and I'm gonna call Pasco. So y'all mayors be ready. All these pinpoints of my real, I got real ties to these people. Dade City and Zephyr Hills is big. I gotta really check in over there and see how things is going. I got, older relatives, younger relatives, people from they moved different states. They all got ties to this. So we got to figure out if everything's done properly. I got a lot of people in the graveyard in Pasco. So we got to make sure things is organized properly. And like I said, I don't want my family history to be deterred by some white supremacist group or some hate groups that I don't know about, that I don't care about, that I'm not even stunned about. These people have done a lot of evil stuff already. So we're gonna get everything situated. I don't understand. I'm in Florida, so like Palm Beach and wherever South Florida area I've been roaming at, I have not done nothing to you for you to even mind. So I know it just stems from my great grandfather, my grandfathers, and them being powerful people in those areas I just spoke on. And these people got ties to whole different southern states, East Coast, a couple people over there on the West Coast. We everywhere. So, and I don't even want to discuss my grandmothers that are native bloodline from wherever the South Dakota, North Dakota, the St. Louis area, going down the Midwest, going all the way from Michigan and Ohio. It's well rooted and and this is just United States. I'm not even talking about leaving. I'm really gotta really break it down where I'm at, worry about my children, keep branching up, keep branching up, keep branching up. Like I said, people have spoken out in their own way and they really attack this person, and this person I really care about, and this person will be celebrated for the rest of his life, especially by me. I'm not even gonna tell you his name until we start speaking in public forums together, and we still trying to kick you in your head. That's all I'm gonna tell you, and I'm being like brutally honest. And this is not even talking about people that's like my friends. This is talking about like family, and and I know it's some friendships because the people haven't even been coming around me. People know they supposed to have been on, at least came back to Florida and be like, "Well, Irad, I'm right here, still both. I'm still here, and I'm still in the doing what y'all know I'm gonna be doing. This is what I do when I speak to them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving it to you for free right now. So hey, when they come down to it, I'm a grown man now. I can stand with anybody. I don't want to stand with everybody. That's all I'm letting y'all know. I ain't standing with everybody. And it's at the end of the day, it really is love, but it can get the other way. And I don't really have in between. So I'm speaking in this form. Like I said, let's get to it. We got a Representative Al Green, the impeachment articles, and like I said, the Congressional Black Caucus, the special order hour. I'm gonna play some clips and we're gonna discuss those. So we're gonna get right to the one from the with Mr. Al, with Representative Al Green. I'm gonna let y'all hear the clips. Let me get the volume up. 225. All right, y'all. Okay, so basically, y'all got the gist of it. We okay. I actually glad he cleaned it up because he had to be very okay. When you're in debate, when you're on, what you learn is the wording that you choose. I like when he brought out his way of saying it instead of actually fouling it. When I played the last time, he called it dictatorship, and now he's trying to be the authoritative. He's trying to basically have everything run through him. The last person to say how to say and yes and say so of everything that he's writing, everything he's trying to rewrite, everything he's trying to dissolve, whatever it may be, every deal he's trying to make. He's trying to be the last be all and say so of that, but that's not how the Constitution is written. There's checks and balances and everything. So every legislation has to be, ran through, the courts, the people who are your senators and the people who are going against them or check it. They write the bill, they send it to them, then they ask people to vote on it. It's like it's three different realms that you have to go to. But he's trying to change everything for him to just say that's the rules, that's final, move on. That's the rule, that's final, move on. Which then starts an uproar, which then starts confusion. What then starts, we didn't even know you switched that rule, and then he's done so many of these go push it through things already. This is why people are trying. This is why Mr. Representative Al Green wants him impeached. This is why other people also who supports Al Green wants him impeached. I'm on the side of this. Is how I look at it. They say impeach. I say destroy the whole Constitution. I say instead of going over here trying to sign $142 billion deal or accepting a $400 million gift, how about you really come up with a plan to pay every Native, Black, African descendant person that you claim that was enslaved when you came over here? Pay them correctly. Stop trying to make them sign up for food stamps. Stop trying to bring You know, the straw man story that they just put out yesterday when those 59 people over there in South Africa came over here that were all white supremacists that went over there trying to start a war, and over there they got caught, and they came back here all looking sad in the face, talking about they was getting treated improperly. You don't have no authority, none, zero. There's no, you do not supposed to go nowhere in Africa. I don't care if it's south, east, west, north. You can't go to Africa nowhere and say they was treated improperly. Y'all have literally taught everybody in America that we went over there and tried to kill Africans and bring them over here. This is the American history 101. This is what y'all taught everybody in my generation, my parents' generation, and the generation before that. This is known things. Why are y'all acting confused about these people finally saying, no, you can't do that no more? We can't start wars over here. We can't make no agreement with you. And all these people are from America. These people look exactly like good old Americans that went over there, that tried to go over there and start something. Went over there trying to feed off them very powerful people in South Africa. So no, they call themselves white Africans, white Africans, or whatever they made the name. And I was laughing because that's a straw man story to deter you from the information about this the day before. This impeachment is very real. This is like high level, and this is like pettiness. Like, no, you can't. That doesn't make any sense. Like, we gotta. And then you over here, the same people that you went over and say, he talking about, it was the word he used was, this was the word. This is what he said. He called them 59 people, that was a genocide. What they was trying to do. A genocide of what? What is that? You came and flew to, you went over there with your high-powered plane and picked them people up, and you didn't even have to make a big deal out of that. But that's the inattention that you want, because this man right here that I just laid you listen to is really finna impeach you. It's really got the strength and the power behind to really impeach you. Has literally did the process of climbing the ranks of being a politician. You did not climb the ranks. You were in a white supremacist group. Everybody in the white supremacist group said, yes, we want that guy to be our puppet. We want him to stand in front of the line and act like he need to act like whatever he need to act, so we can get all these deals, these cross-handed deals and these backhanded deals that we did in the 1700s to start doing them again, which is what we're finna talk about when this with the Congressional Black Caucus. Basically, I'm gonna let you hear the clips that this lady and this man is talking about, or why they in detail, or why Representative Al Green want him to go. So we're gonna listen to their clips and we're gonna, go. And I'm really not at the level to say I want him impeached, but I did pay my taxes. I should not be targeted. I should not be a threat. The person that you, like I keep bringing up, both of them were high level. They already went over there and did and ended the war and helped bring some of their people back and did what they was told after they finished doing what they was told in the service. They serviced more for a long time. So you get what I'm saying? Like, y'all attacking the wrong people. We did what you said. You still attack. You mad because you ain't get the merit, you ain't get the badges and stripes that we earned. And I'm saying we, meaning once all I got to say, me and my generational, my cousins, we ain't playing. Like I keep telling y'all, we all earned. We all got our respect. We still got it. The slander didn't work. Unfortunately, it did not work. Okay, so we finna keep stomping on you. And it's gonna be very, 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 I won't say strategic because it ain't no strategy. It's just what life is. I'm gonna say this. What we made of is not what you made of. That's it. That's all it is. Figure out another route. Go, like I said, y'all went over there to South Africa thinking y'all could go over there and turn it white. It's black people in Africa. It's a big continent. You can't go over there and do that. That's not what kind of thinking is that? We gonna be like, we working here, they filled it up for us over here in South Africa for majority of the part. We've been letting them build it up. We've been letting them bring their little, gadgets and gidgets over here. But my cousin is still over there in that big continent. It ain't that much separate for, but one of these, and everybody got cell phones, and everybody on social media still. Like, we still go to UN World meetings, and what do you think you're entitled to in Africa again? And if you are African rooted, you still like on the bottom total pool. That's what the issue was when everybody separated in the beginning of the time. They were doing degenerate, weirdo stuff, and they went the wrong way. That's how it goes. It's like and I'm not even. I'm just looking at it like, why you feel entitled to go think that they supposed to yes sir you in South Africa or Africa? Like it's that big. It's that big. Your history say you tried to destroy us, but in Europe, from Europe and Spain and whatever, they ain't even beefing this hard. You know what I'm saying? You making these side cross on the deals, think you're gonna save yourself, save face. No, you gotta really, you got a big platform, so you gotta go continent by continent. And I'm gonna let y'all hear the other part. Go into more details. This was recorded on May 13th when they went in here, so this was 2 days before. And last week, I'll let you hear. You know, I'm gonna let y'all hear. I'm gonna cue it up. Let me start from 2 minutes. This is couple different things, so we're gonna see. Okay, basically what she's talking about. The title of this is like they're trying to take down the GOP's reconciliation bill. Reconciliation bill. Now I'm gonna do my research on this, but I'm gonna let them talk about what it is and what it ain't with this reconciliation bill. And she started off very powerful with what she said, and I'm gonna let you hear what she got to say. Manifesto. All right, we're gonna let you what the young man or our elders from this from a black progressional black caucus came and spoke. I don't really know these two people name, but I'll do my research. I like what they were saying, so I'm gonna let you hear what he got to say. That's what she had to say, and we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna continue. This was an hour speech. I'm not going to let you, bite everything that they said is their word. So, I got to do my research, and I would just let you know basically what they were putting out there and basically what is going on when I say like the change that happened doesn't happen overnight. When I know that change doesn't happen overnight, it's good that everybody knows what's actually happening. You get what I'm saying? Well, him going pull that little stupid stunt, which I could think is dumb. Like, you're trying to go over there and save 60 people. They better get their passports and hop on the plane and get back to their home and stop playing around with Africans. That play ain't we ain't running that play no more. The people over there, they came back fat and happy and very well fed. They ain't miss a meal over there. So what they call it, what he was trying to say, calling it a genocide was crazy. But that was pettiness. We're gonna move on from that strawman story that he tried to put out today. And we're gonna, or last evening or whatever time it was, we're gonna put you on some real stuff that happened this week. Let's continue. All right, y'all. Basically, I look at it like this. I don't say I predict, I just say I pay attention to like the real world, the surrounding things, and everything this guy has spoken on, and especially in the last, 3 minutes of what he was talking about, which is government people not getting paid. The people who in the good fight, the people who are actually protecting correctly and doing things properly, are doing exactly what they said they were going to do when they signed up, not the people who falsified and did their own thing and came up with a stupid plan to take over, and these groups and these people that want to relive the demise of the ending of the world because they didn't get their way, they didn't get the person that they wanted in office, or they didn't get the support that they thought they should have. Like all these little backhanded side channels and stuff that they did just not, and they didn't be successful, they can't be mad. So don't try to shut down the people that did what they said they was gonna do when they got these governments approval in the beginning. So what he's trying to say is don't go back on your word. Everything you're doing, you did all these agreements with them countries that he just spoke on, all these countries and stuff, and they are also in continents that they're the main countries in these continents separate from us, that are looking at us sideways, that you trying to go over here and start basically a war because you put these people in harm's way by going into the Africa territory and trying to start stuff with them and make agreements with them without finishing the agreements that you just made 2-3 weeks ago, that you signing all these what do they call them? Executive orders to promising this and promising that, and then you over here promising this and then promising that, and it ain't working out for you. And you still got stuff from your terms in 2016 that you ain't made promises that people have said that you was gonna promise them this and you're gonna do that. And that's why these contracts that they not get paid for, they expected to get paid for by this term, and they haven't got paid. And then it's just all this backhanded stuff that's going on, and you making deals and paying other people. You got to get things corrected right where you got put yourself in power. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not really, I can't really attack the president as much, because I start off by telling y'all I'm starting from city. I ain't even go state yet. These people in the state have not shown their face. The senator and the governor have not shown their face. The only time you finna see our governor come out here and talk is when he got something to say about hurricane season. You're not hearing him talk about none of this important stuff that's going on. All he want to do is stand behind what it is, them being in consolidate self being in power. The thing I think they're doing is really just taking money, and that's what they ended up saying in these few things. They're not putting nothing back in. They taking everything out. They came here for a money grab. They came here to set themselves up for business and to be crooks and be thieves and put themselves in position to put down. But you're not going to have a good foundation if everything's destroyed and weak from your internal, from the inside, from the bottom. It's not going to work. It's going to fall down like a how you do it, like when you play that game, that jingle game, where you pull the piece out from the bottom and got to put it back on top. Like they pulling everything out at once at the bottom, it's gonna crash down. So they just got to figure out how to be in it, put themselves in a little bit of better situation. I did a lot of political. It's Saturday. I know people not listening. It's a lot of sports going on. But I had to get our information out. They like the fact that they putting this information out when people are not paying attention. They're doing it on a Friday. People hopefully will catch on. Hopefully they listen to mine. I don't think I have a huge following yet, and I'm not on all them streaming service that for money and for likes yet. So when I get to that point, when I build up when I fine tune my show, I probably should definitely be already I've been a little lazy. I've been handling other stuff besides putting my own actual podcast out. But it's getting out to it's getting put out. I'm speaking on some real proper and positive, productive things. I'm not just entertaining you. So that's it. And we're gonna move on, man. We're gonna keep it light. we're gonna get go to sports, and then we're gonna finish up for the day. All right, in sports, you got the NBA last night. The Knicks, they made it to the they have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they'll meet the Indiana Pacers. This is actually one of these throwback, like this is one of these matchups where I remember it was Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell versus Reggie Miller, older Patrick Ewing. This is when I was young and I'm watching the game at my grandma's house, and me and my cousin back and forth watching the games and playing the video games all day, chilling. And I could just remember those just good vibes and good energy. And I was a big, I was a fan of Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell. So, it's one of them throwback vibes. I'm a big fan. I like Reggie Miller as far as his game being, being one of, Jermaine O'Neal, all the guys playing back in the young Jermaine O'Neal, and just like, it was a good game. So, I think there was more before it just the matchup. So I'm just thinking about the matchup. Young Paul Pierce, the Celtics just finished. I remember just that time frame. I'm big on I'm a big basketball fan, so I'm glad it's a throwback type of vibe. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. Indiana got a young team. Got Turner. He's a veteran. Versus Karl Anthony Towns. I want to see how they match up against each other. Turner's more of a throwback type of center, and Karl Anthony Towns got a stretch three, and he got a nice post up game. I think he got to really set the tone in that matchup. Far as just the whole series, he got to set the tone and be the force and be the leader. Brunson's been playing very, very, very high level, superstar level. Mikal Bridges got to show up 20 and 10, 28 and 5. Just get that solid performance every game, every night. Get a couple steals. Make sure you're defending the wings at a high level, so y'all can, really come in and add that boost, that third score, and that third and being on that second unit if you don't start. It just be, I just want to see. I think the Knicks have the younger and the better team, but if you get the bench play, going, I think the coaching matchup is very, very like high level. So it is all about adjustments. It's all about who's gonna make those threes and make those games at the end of the game decisions. Who's gonna make the end of the game decisions and lead their team correctly and properly. So that's what it's gonna be an interesting game in the Eastern Conference just to get the finals. I don't think nobody picked either team to be in the Eastern Conference Finals championship game. So this is one of those, everybody got to go back to the drawing board. I know the Knicks were, they had a nice, they beating the Celtics was the toughest matchup. So I think everybody's gonna pick them to be the favorites out of that. But Indiana got a Tyler Halliburton. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's one of the, if not the best young point guard in the league. If you're looking at it at that standpoint, with the ascension he's done and the way Sacramento Kings gave him up for basically, I don't know why, just they ended up not keeping what's his name? They made me forget his name. They should have kept him in the first place because he won Rookie of the Year. I never seen nobody that might have happened twice. I don't think Tracy McGrady made Rookie of the Year, but he was averaging like 15 or something, and they traded him away. I think he was there for 2 years at Toronto when that happened. And just like that was one of those type of trades. Like you trying to hope you got a superstar in the waiting, and then you give him away for maybe so. It ended up working out for Indiana. I'll tell you that much. Sacramento I don't even think they made the playoffs this year. So, that trade definitely went to Indiana. And yeah, so pretty much now going to the West, you got the OKC versus the Denver Nuggets at 3:30, game 7. They'll meet the T-Wolves in the Western Conference Finals. I just gotta say SGA versus a very veteran, heavy levy can win any kind of way, come back. Russ Westbrook, Jokic, 2 MVPs, solid bench. If those guys, Gordon and what's his name, disappear, I can't even remember his name now. When those guys come out and perform, they could easily, they have the talent to really compete and win against them. So, it was a very even balanced series. SGA is the MVP this year in 2025. So, all it is about if he could come out, drop one of those 40, 50 pieces on him, and the rest of his team come out and help him win and dominate, they could win. If Jokic come out and have a similar type of game that I expected SGA to have, and he get a triple-double with 35, 15, and 12, and, Westbrook get him a nice double-double with 15 and 10 rebounds and 6 or 7 assists, and the rest of the team come out and perform, it could be a high-level game. And same with the young people on OKC. So we're going to have to wait and see. You can watch the game at 3:30. And again, that's pretty much it for basketball. T-Wolves in the wings waiting. And we're going to have to see what that is. Because, T-Wolves waiting, and they're going to be on the road. So it's one of those games. You just got to wait and see what's going to happen. Now, I just was talking about I mentioned the WNBA game today. It's the we have right now currently going on. It's going to be the second half probably. I think we got New York versus Las Vegas. I gave you a rundown. The key matchups: A'ja Wilson versus Jaquel Jones and Chelsea Gray versus Sabrina. I can't pronounce her last name. I don't want to butcher it. Starts with an I. And, those are key matchups for me. And like I said, Breanna Stewart's pretty much unguardable. And, I think New York definitely has the advantage. I don't know the score right now. I didn't check. But, it's just one of those games where, that's why they won the championship. They were stacked. They had the best record last year. They ended up pulling it through. It's a lot of young people for Las Vegas. And, yeah, starting lineup is pretty stacked for the Liberty team. At 3:00, the game I'm probably I'm really interested in is watching the Chicago Sky versus the Indiana Fever. You got Atlanta Boston, who I think could be Atlanta Boston and versus Camila Cardoso. I think Angela Reese ended up guarding her in the game sometimes, but I think that's going to be the matchup where I want to see. I think Aaliyah Boston is one of the top 10 players already in the league. I think she's definitely the best player on the team. I know everybody gonna say Caitlin. I don't know. I think I said her name wrong. What's her last name? But Angel Reese versus the Warner Bonner. That's the matchup I want to see the whole game because I think they have very similar games. I think Angel Reese is a little bit, bigger and her game is more post up. It's not, but I think she's stretching it out the 3-point range this year on a consistent basis. I think DeWanna Bonner, when she was a six woman on the bench when she was playing with Diana Taurasi in Phoenix, and now she's still, she built her 20 points a night game into starter, into basically she got Hall of Fame numbers overall as far as WNBA, and I think she won definitely a couple times in Phoenix, so she got the championship pedigree. She's a little bit older. I'm not saying she's old. Definitely not saying that. She still could hoop. I think this is like one of those passing of the torch of just like similar type of games. And DeWanna Bonner was one of those players that opened the door for people like Angel Reese. And, she might not get her the respect, but I'm giving it to her because I pay attention. I don't watch, but I pay attention to WNBA. So this one of those players where she didn't get the superstardom ranks until she got older and she went on her own and went to a different team. And like I said, I want to see what I want to see Angel Reese do is hold her to under in single digits, show her defensive prowess that she showed in college. Not be a better passer in the post with her 2-man with Camila Cardoso. I think she's coming in. So she's coming in way in better shape than she was coming out of college. I think if they come in with the 2-man game, just posting and sharing, like they do a pretty good job. I think Camila Cardoso could do a better job of passing in the out of the post to injuries and finding her a little bit in her better spots when she's in that when she's out there on the wing, not the wing, but her mid range and just playing that 2-man. Angel Reese do a good job of driving into that off those passes, and she got to do make sure she's finished consistently. All those things she did at the end of the year when they were both getting, she was getting hurt. Cardoso was getting double-digit rebounds. I think she got the ability to get 15 and 15. Same with Angel Reese could get you 20 and 12 with 5 assists. So these girls playing that high-level 2-man game as the Twin Towers they could be. When I say that, meaning very high-ranking post players, center forward type players. I think the Fever got their second round pick and their first round pick. They got to show up and show that they are at the level with Caitlin and I can't remember the other girl name, but they got some young players in Indiana. I don't know if I might be reading the wrong notes, but the third game, I think I might be getting a little bit confused. Like I gotta watch. So the third game is at 10 o'clock. It's Seattle versus Phoenix. I gotta wait see. I'm a big Skylar Diggins fan. They got a young, Phoenix team. They basically revamped their team. And we just gonna have to wait to see. I gotta, see what Phoenix got going on. Diana Taurasi just retired. I think Brittany Griner went to a different team. They just got a very young team. I just gotta wait to see. So that's it for sports. That's it. I think the spring football league is about to be in playoff mode. I haven't watched a lot of it. I've been busy doing other stuff. Yeah, I don't have much to say, really too much. No football mini camp just finished. Spring football game. I was gonna go. It was a 4:00 game I wanted to go to this evening, but I don't feel like I'm just gonna chill and watch some football, basketball, and my minds, and hopefully I'm gonna get the updates and get the score from just the news, the local news. And shout out to those young guys that's striving to get the Division I offers. Spring football in Florida period is very big because it's sunshine. We don't have a lot of the way the atmosphere is. It hasn't been no rainouts, and we've been blessed with the sunlight and the great weather, and it's been clear skies, and football is back to being very. It's a little bit of a purifying, lifting spirit over just having fun playing the game that you love. And I don't know who came and messed it up. Hopefully, we got all those people out of football. And if they still high, and they still gonna eventually get ordered out and weeded out. So yeah, shout out to those youngest trying to get the Division I offer. Don't be afraid to go to a school that really wants you, so you can be successful, so you can achieve higher learning for free. And when you go to a school that really loves you and wants you, you have a very higher success of being a student athlete, and student being first and athlete still being a high priority. So remember those things, and don't get deterred if you don't get an offer by the end of spring and they didn't get it. The best thing is when those schools come and watch. And I know what the tree that I'm under as far as coaching is they come and watch. This is something I was learning. When they come and watch you and then you outperform the people they came to see. It'd be so funny if you in the coach's room and you like, I came to see him, but that number and that number was kicking his tail. And he was like, no, that guy's in the sophomore, or that guy just transferred in. And then you be like, oh, well, we gotta see more. We got to see his film, and then you might not get offer right away. But if you perform by the third grade of your senior year, you get your offer from the team that came and seen you spring. And the way the coaching staff that I was on, they'll send you some game. We'll have some high level, scrimmages. If you got the program up and running, so just be encouraged, and just have that belief in yourself, and that's pretty much it. Y'all have a great weekend. Saturday, Sunday, gonna be some good WNBA games. Tune into those. Baseball. The Rays played today at 4 against the Marlins. I ain't going to the game. I went to one already. I supported my team, my home team. I supported Florida teams. I threw my couple dollars in, So that's pretty much it. Y'all, I think I covered all that sports, all politics this week. Remember what I said? We got a lot of stuff coming. We got a lot of stuff reported on. I got to get geared up get back on this field, get back on this court as far as coaching. And I'm excited. Like, I ain't going to brag, but I'm going to be like hyped about it. Y'all might see me turn 3 different shades as soon as I get back on the football field. But I'm going to get back on the football field as a coach. So, just stay tuned. I'm very hyped by this year. I'm excited. I'm really excited about the fall because I know what it is. Like, I'm gonna be so amped up off this, just being like, it's like a refreshing. Hopefully I get a coordinator position. I gotta really put my foot down and like make an effort to get this positioning. As far as I want to coach in high school, but I will coach Little League and have to, just accept these people being jealous of me in Florida. So hopefully I get somebody that really understand that the slander that was not about me. It's about other people that didn't pan out. So it is what it is. I'm gonna speak my truth. I don't have no time to really throw nobody under the bus. But if you continue to be mentioned, I will have to put put you in your place as a man that I've already become and already overcame. I could speak like this. My child going to middle school. She climbing the ranks in a very high level way. Same with my nephew. He's finna be in 4th grade. He passed his reading this year. We hype about that, and now he can get to this writing, and now he on point with it. Everybody on cue. You know what I'm saying? So we on point. We get to it, and thank y'all for listening. This is Dynasty the Podcast. I'm the host, Ira Bush, and y'all have a good one.